Hey there, welcome back. I had such a great time playing Dungeons and Dragons with you last time. I'm glad you've decided to come back for more. Catra and Vair had some wild adventures together, but you didn't get to hear the full story. Those two had lots of adventures before their final battle to save the material plane. In fact, why don't I take you through some of them? You'll get to see how Catra's relationship with Vair developed more closely, meet new characters, talk with some of your favorites, fight new monsters, and explore hidden corners of the Forgotten Realms. First off, though, do you want a refresher on how the game works? It's been a bit since the last time we played. Great. Let's get started. Now, you were playing Catra, but do you mind reminding me what class you were? Sure thing. You might remember that every player in Dungeons and Dragons has a certain type, job, or, as we call it, a class that they play as. Each class grants different abilities which can have a big influence on your strategy and playstyle. Paladins are holy warriors who focus on healing and bonking their enemies with the might of whichever deity they worship. Your classic knight in shining armor, with magic to boot. Wizards manipulate the magic of their world to both protect themselves and to incinerate foes with blasts of elemental fury. Rogues are the sneaky, stabby type who specialize in poisoning their enemies and staying far from danger while the bad guys drop like flies. Barbarians? Well, barbarians would benefit from some serious anger management help, except that their overpowering rage lets them wade into the thick of things with an axe, and more or less ignore when they get a spear in the chest. This ringing any bells? Now, you were playing Catra, but do you mind reminding me what class you were? Now, your character's growth is going to be a bit... Okay, next let's allocate your stats. You want me to explain how stats and dice rolling work in this game? Stats determine what you're good at. Each stat has a use in combat, but they can also apply to role-playing situations and other things you do while adventuring in the world. Whenever you roll the 20-sided die, you'll add whichever stat applies to the roll. So, say you've got a +3 in wisdom and need to see if someone is telling the truth, you would roll the d20 and add 3 to whatever you rolled. That insight check would show how well you're able to read that person's intentions and emotions. Rolling high means you can understand them and see through any lies they might be telling. Rolling low means that you believe whatever they're saying. Within reason, of course. If you roll a 20 on that die, then you'll almost certainly succeed at whatever you're trying to do, or at least get useful info. Let's try an example. You are speaking to a tavern keeper, asking after some local bandits that you've been hired to hunt down. He talks easily enough, but he says that he has no information on these people or where to find them. Okay, you rolled a 10, so add 3 to that. With a 13, you notice him tense and almost physically withdraw when you ask him about the bandits, giving you the sense that he is hiding something and knows more about the situation than he's letting on. That's pretty much it. Rolling a 20 when you hit someone in a fight also counts as a critical hit and doubles how much damage you do to them. Rolling a 1 on that die, though, can be really bad news. Sometimes it just means failing whatever you're doing. Sometimes it means failing so spectacularly that you, I don't know, fall down a flight of stairs, out of a window and into a pen of screaming goats. OK, you'll also see that your class already has stats that will best support their abilities. How you add your extra stat points is up to you. Do you want to make them better at what they already do, or do you want to balance them out a bit? You'll get Great. Now that we've cleared that up, let's start with a little recap. You are playing as Katra, a young adventurer from Nash Kell. Your parents tasked you to investigate a series of disappearances in your village, suggesting that you speak to the nearby dragon, Endandravir, or Vair for short. However, when you arrived in his cave, you witnessed a horrible scene. Mysterious assailants trapped Vair's soul in a coin and stole his body away after infecting it with some sort of parasite for their own nefarious purposes. The villains then misplaced the coin, and you, upon touching it, found Vair's soul forced into your own body. Note that Vair can talk to you, but you return to your village only to find it set ablaze by the same people who had trapped Vair. They seem to be hunting you while everyone in your entire village, including your parents, have gone missing. As the pair of you set off on a journey to restore Vair's and even help you to put Vair's soul back into his body in exchange for help with a task. Now that you have completed Descarga's request, you return to the Great Library, where the powerful wizard awaits. After reporting to him, he reveals that those responsible for Vair's predicament may be a cult that worships insane, horrifying gods from beyond the stars called Elder Eden. He even has a lead on something that may help separate your soul from Vair's. Before you leave, though, it seems that he has another matter of great importance to discuss.
I've been experimenting with chaos magic for the past year or three, and the Deck of Many Things has been integral to my research. Unfortunately, the problem with chaos magic is that it is, well, chaotic. My investigations have been rather fruitful, but one of my experiments may have gone a little, unexpectedly, and now the deck has been scattered all around the Sword Coast, even up to Icewind Dale. I cannot make the trip myself. I have too many responsibilities here, but if you can collect the cards for me, then we can both benefit from whatever magics I uncover in my work. Fortunately, I had the foresight to place tracking spells on each card, partly to see where the cards go after someone draws one. Unfortunately, the tracking is imprecise, so I can only point you in the right direction. That being said, each card is a magical artifact in its own right and is likely to have attracted some attention. Simply asking around and help.
Katra, the Deck of Many Things is one of the most legendarily powerful artifacts in all the realms.
I gathered. But what does it actually do?
The Deck of Many Things is a set of cards like those you'd find in a set of playing cards. But each card carries with it a powerful magical effect. Using it is always risky, as some effects can be advantageous, but others disastrous. Few know exactly what the possibilities of its use are, but it is powerful enough to cause untold chaos in the wrong hands. At the same time, in the right hands, it could be the deciding factor in turning the tides of war. We must secure all the missing cards, as much as it pains me to do the bidding of Thessarai.
Yikes. You again. I can't say I approve of Sage Thessarai's decision to make a deal with you. Makes upholding the law difficult if people think they can just make an agreeable exchange after they commit a crime. Still, perhaps we can get some use out of you. Help make up the—
If it will bring me back into your good graces, then yeah, I'll help. What do you need?
Before you illegally entered the city, you might have noticed the small mist-shrouded island near Candlekeep. I need you to go there and lift the curse that keeps a perpetual mist in place. The lighthouse there is entirely obscured, and we need it visible, lest approaching vessels crash into the rocks. We've already had several such losses in the 3 years since this began. This is bad for commerce and an unacceptable hazard. Will you do it?
I'll look into this for you, but I'm not making any promises. I don't exactly specialize in curses.
That is fine. Information.
Getting tired of guard duty. I want to go back to studying magic. I turned away so many visitors. Hope the sages figure out these disappearances soon.
Need a lift? Need a lift?